You're probably wondering, like, man, is Crypto Noah still holding his Radix? Absolutely. I still think Radix is going to do numbers in this next bull market. So I've made tons of videos on Radix. Feel free to just go through my channel. I talked about the tokenomics. I did a deep dive into the platform, like literally everything you need to know about Radix. So in this video, I'm going to show you my exact take profit strategy and show you how you can turn a $50,000 investment into $1,850,000 step by step. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'll just start off by kind of explaining what Radix is. If you haven't watched any of my videos, definitely do if you haven't. But Radix is a layer 1 blockchain that allows smart contracts to be built on top of it, but they do things a little different. All right. Like we all know and love Ethereum, but the Ethereum virtual machine and the Solidity programming language is not secure. The reason why is because it's always a smart contract having to communicate with another smart contract. And when that happens, there's a chance for vulnerability. And this is a big reason why, despite projects getting 5, 6, 7 smart contract audits, they're still getting hacked because of this fact. Radix has a programming language called Scripto that they created that is an asset-oriented smart contract programming language, so that they put assets in buckets. So that thing with the smart contract interacting with another smart contract and there being a vulnerability, it can't even happen, okay? So not only is the language safer, but it's more efficient. If you look at Uniswap built on Ethereum versus Uniswap built on Radix, it's 75% less lines of code. And it's easier to understand to a novice. So it's going to encourage more building. The more building there is, the more dApps, the more dApps, the more users, more money, more business. All right. Another thing that they're doing that's pretty cool is their developer royalties. So let's say you built a standard for a flash loan protocol and people want to fork your code. Well, guess what? Every time they do, you're getting paid a royalty on a per transaction basis. This is going to inspire the best building to happen because everyone's going to want their code to be used. So I think that's a healthy form of competition. And they also supposedly solved the blockchain trilemma. So, I'm making this video right now because with the recent pump, it seems like everything pumped except for Radix. Like I made videos on Pendle Finance, Optimism, Arbitrum. I took profits on those and I put some of those profits into Radix because it dipped. So now that we've kind of explained what Radix is, let's go through some recent updates and talk about why I'm still bullish. All right, so the first thing is actually came to me through an email. So, I'm subscribed to their email list, so I get updates. So one good thing is Key Rock, which is like a institutional market maker, is deploying 10 million to the Radix ecosystem. 10 million is not a lot, but their TVL is 20 million, so that can raise it up to 30. And, we talk about market making on the channel all the time, but this is basically going to increase the liquidity within the ecosystem and make it so that traders can trade more without less slippage, have more liquidity. You have Grove integrating Radix, so it's going to allow easier access to the Radix core API through the Grove RPC endpoints. It's going to enhance the Radix ecosystem by making it easier and more affordable for developers to build on Radix, freeing them for the complexities of node or RPC infrastructure maintenance. Just some other news. So transaction growth in the last 30 days, the number of the transactions have grown from 1,500 to 4,500. That's a large percentage increase, over 100%. They integrated with Supra to bring Oracle services to Radix, so it's going to help connect it to off-chain data or other chains. And they talk about money market funds and stablecoins. XRD is available on BitGet. So partnerships with the football giants and Juventus, if I said that right, and Lionel Messi have helped beget growth to over 20 million registered users, consistently achieving 24-hour trading volume of 10 billion, meaning the XRD USDT trading pair would be accessible to more people. They got a perfect score on their smart contract audit by hacking. I'm not surprised given Scripto. They have XRD perps on Bybit, so people can now trade Radix with leverage. Let's also go through some of their stats on DeFi Llama. So since Babylon launched, you saw like exponential growth, and now it's just kind of been sustaining. So this is really, really good. Some of the projects such as Aussie and Caviar, which I've made videos on, are now on CoinGecko, so people are able to track them. They're in a brighter light. You can see within the last month, increases on everything on the platform, from DeFi Plaza, West Finance, Gable Finance, made a video on Gable as well, and both the top dexes. So you have TVL increasing. If you look at volume, while it has been on a decline lately, at least these bars are holding up pretty high. This one's low because it's still the beginning of the day. But if you see here, it was a lot of times where it was below. So it looks like it's building up a stable support of volume at least. Same exact thing with the core developers. You saw this exponential growth, more devs building, the better. And the same with commits, same trend. So people are building on Radix. Now that I went through that, let's go through my exact take profit strategy and show you how to turn 50K into 1.8 million. So in order to do that, Radix is gonna have to get to a $40 billion market cap. So before we do the take profit strategy, let's talk about why I believe they can get to a $40 billion market cap. Okay, right now, Radix's market cap is $420 million. And in order to get to a $40 billion market cap, that's a 118x, all right? But here on this channel, we don't try to time the top because we never know what can happen. You don't want it to do 100x and then it goes back down and you just, left all that money on the table. So even if it doesn't hit our target, we still have a take profit strategy set up to where we're still taking out money, as it's going up. And if you're a more impulsive investor, you can have your levels hit more frequently. If you're more patient, you can have them more. Usually there's two types of investors who want to have a large amount of profits less frequently or smaller amount of profits more frequently. And that's when you want to use your emotions when you're developing your take profit strategy, because you'll intuitively know what you're comfortable with. So now, why do I think Radix can hit a $40 billion market cap? Well, this next bull market is going to be institutional adoption, and institutional adoption is where most of the money is, so it's going to be exponential. So if we look at the last bull market where it was mainly fueled by retail and a few small hedge funds, we saw Polkadot reach a $56 billion market cap. We saw Cardano reach 94 billion, Solana 75, Phantom 8, AVAX 30, Atom 12, Near 12, ETH 560, Tezos 7 billion. And I'm not going to cover the layer 2s, even though I feel like the layer 2s are going to be the new layer 1 because they're helping these layer 1s scale. But I think layer 2s are going to do a number as well, and I talked about that. So I think all of these projects are going to reach a higher market cap. I don't know about Phantom if they're going to recover, but I feel like these other ones are. And I feel like they're all going to reach newer highs just because of institutional adoption. We got a Bitcoin ETF. We got the halving coming up. So it's just, the whole crypto market is like $1.5 trillion. As the whole asset class, increases in size, all of these are going to pump. All right. And I'm not saying it should be worth that much, but I'm just saying it will because it's going to be a rational exuberance. So now let's go over the take profit strategy. Okay, here we go. So current market cap 420 million, estimated market cap 40 billion. The current price is 4 cents. All right. So you start off with 50K. My first take profit level is going to be after Radix does a 3x. That's going to bring it from a $420 million market cap to a $1.2 billion market cap. And it's going to bring the price to a little over 16 cents. And it's going to turn my 50K into 150K. At that point, I'm taking out 50K. Then I have 100K left. My second take profit strategy is when it does a 2.5x. It's going to bring the price to 55 cents, and it's going to bring the market cap to 3 billion, and it's going to turn my 100K into $250,000. So at that point, I'm taking out another 50K. All right. And you may be asking, why'd you take out 50K twice? You always say you want to do more and more. Well, that's because this is like right below previous all-time high levels. So I feel like it'll hit that level and it'll probably drop back down below. And if it drops back down below, I'm going to buy back in more so I can make more. But I know traders are looking at, hard levels and they're selling. So I like to do it a little bit before that. So with that, I'm going to have 100K in profit so far, and I have 200K left still in Radix. My third take profit level is when it does a 3x. Price is going to be $1.65. The market cap is going to be 9 billion, and my 200K is going to be worth 600K. At that point, I'm taking out 100K, and now I have 500K left. My fourth take profit level is going to be when it does another 2x. It's going to bring the price to $4.91. It's going to bring the market cap to 18 billion, and then my 500K is going to be worth $1 million. At that point, I'm taking out 350K in profits. All right. So now I have 650K left in Radix. This is my last major take profit level. I'm going to wait till it does another 2x. It's going to bring the price to $14.85. It's going to bring the market cap to 36 billion. Now you notice it's a little bit before my estimate, because whatever my estimate is, I'm always going to take out a little bit before that, because I know traders are looking at those levels. All right. So I'm just going to try to get out before. My 650K is going to be worth $1.3 million. At this point, we're getting closer and closer to the top, so I'm taking out more and more. So at this point, I'm taking out $1 million. I'm still going to have 300K left. So at that point, I'm going to have a total of, in my profits that I took, 1,550,000. But if you factor in the profits that I took plus what I have left, well, hey, guess what? You just turned $50,000 into $1,850,000. So now you're asking, probably wondering, like, okay, what are you going to do with the remaining 300K? Well, at this point, every time Radix does a 25% increase, I'm taking out 25% of the profits. So at 300K, if it does a 25% increase, I'm taking out 75K. Every time it does it, just taking it out. And if I'm looking at the chart and it's starting to roll over, I'm just gonna sell it all. And guys, just to make this easy, I always put my take profit levels on my chart. So that way I can either have a yield farming strategy to where I'm using it to take profits in ETH or USDC, or a limit order. But all I have to do is look at my chart, hit my level. I know what I have to do. I don't even have to think about it. And guys, I'm telling you right now, what happens every time Radix gets to these levels? It always bounces back pretty hard. We saw it here, we saw it here, even here. Back in October, price was at this level, got a nice little 54% gain. The price isn't gonna be here forever, especially in the bull market, and we're near like the lows when everything else was pumping. So I don't think it's a bad idea to take profits somewhere else and cycle them here. You know, we're in this downward trend. Eventually we're gonna break out of this and start making our way up. So yeah, the more profits I take on other projects, the more I'm gonna be putting into Radix. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video. Guys, again, I ask if you got value, consider subscribing, drop a like, drop a comment. I encourage any constructive criticism. If I missed anything, let me know. If you want me to cover a take profit strategy on another project, or even just cover another project in general in DeFi or crypto, feel free to drop the link in the comments. But with that, I thank you guys for tuning in. I love every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.